Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds 2015 Demolition Derby. We're here out in the desert getting ready to crunch up some full-size cars, watch demo cross cars go flipping and jumping, and of course the modified Demolition Derby may not crunch as much because those cars were built to last.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
Jeffrey Best, and I'm here with Tommy Mason. Tommy, we're here once again.
Back at the Antelope Valley Fair, always a fun Demolition Derby. We still got cars pulling in. So getting ready for this first heat race for the Demolition Derby at the Antelope Valley Fair. And let's go through some of these cars on the course. The number 53, you see the purple machine of Doug Creel, if I'm saying that correctly. And to the outside of him is the number 87 of David Mahaffey Jr. is what I have on my sheet. And then we got the number 69, driven by Zach Myers, and the 720. All the way in the far corner of Wesley Johnson. Also in this field, we got the number 11 machine, driven by Margie Burks, the number 8 BL, driven by Joe Pelletier, and the 32 will round up this first heat race, Robbie Lassos.
7 cars in heat race number 1. Tommy, we got big cars, we got small cars, we got cars that are fresh and cars that are beat. And who's gonna win?
Green flag is flying. Here we go, the 87 across the track in a crash. And we're gonna see a lot of that tonight.
87 makes the first hit on the 32.
There's a good wheel shot on the 720 by the 53.
And a hard hit to the 8, from the 8.
Joe Pelletier banging it in.
You see the 8 BL there.
Really flying over there.
That car took a really good track shot on that 11 of Margie Burks. The 32 jumping over the track. He went through the moat, if you will.
He did.
So Robbie Lassos in that 32 coming across and into Burks.
Judges across the way.
Was that a door hit? Did it look like?
If
Well,
it
there's
was,
two
I
of
was
them now.
gonna say. Yeah, these drivers need to be careful. That is a disqualification.
And you don't want to get disqualified out of a heat race if we're having to transfer.
No.
Which not too surprising.
720 going in for a hit.
And a miss.
I've done one of those plenty of times in my career. Tommy, the 87 machine we looked at, we were talking about how stout of a car, but look at the rear end that's gone on that car.
David Mahaffey Jr. has got a lot of work to do between these heat races to the main. You can see he took another hit by the 720, driven by Wesley Johnson. That 8 BL on a mission here right now. Joe Pelletier, he's going across the track. We talked to him earlier. He said he's going to use all the corners of this car to win this derby tonight. 53 getting a crunch, tried to get a hit, but it went under the 8 BL.
A couple hard hits there, one delivered by the 69.
Doug Creel, he's got to keep an eye out on that rear end because it looks like it's starting to go down, and that's going to start plowing into the dirt if it continues in that downward direction. Maybe the sleeper in this derby so far is at 69, who that car still looks pretty good, driven by Zach Myers.
Hard hit.
It took a hit, but the 53 took the major damage.
This 32, Tommy, while I don't know how long it's going to last, it's definitely putting on quite... Oh, official.
Look out.
Saw that coming.
Look at the 8 BL, a huge hit, and into the moat is that 53 and rips off the rear bumper. So Doug Creel now stuck in the moat, trying to get it off.
That 53 team's going to have a lot of work to do to get that car ready.
They've got to remount the rear bumper and who knows what else. A lot of front end damage it took. It could have gotten the radiator.
That car was holding up pretty good too.
So a pretty heavy hitting first heat race of the night.
Oh yeah, look at these cars.
And here comes the 69.
And the 8.
That 8 BL, I'm telling you, he's out for blood in this one.
And his rear end's doing exactly what you wanted to. The 32, I think, needs a GPS though. Oh, 87.
8 BL, what are you seeing out of the hood, Jeffrey?
53 trying to get it going.
A lot of steam. Here comes the 32 of Lassos and into the 720.
Well, I honestly, if you notice, Tommy, this is a heat race.
Yeah.
These officials, I think, just waited till every car got knocked out of this heat race. Everyone's stuck.
We're all stuck in the
And
center
look
now.
at the radiator just flowing on the 720.
720's flowing, the 8 PL.
Stuck. Everyone's stuck. The 53 is
They're all-
stuck.
yeah,
the
they're all-
11 hasn't been moving for a while.
They're all stuck into the center.
I'll tell you right now, it was a disadvantage to be in this heat race. The next heat race, I don't see it doing this much.
The 69's going to try to tow everybody. The 720's got it going again. He's got to worry about overheating issues.
If you're in this heat race right now, would you just survive to the
I would
end?
park it in the mode right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know why the checkered hasn't been flown. I'm not an official here, but in my head, I feel like we've hit our quota. They might actually have a determined number of cars they're looking to knock out. People need to realize that as far as our announcing here goes, we're pretty much fans in the stands.
We're officially unofficial, but
Quite.
the trend that I think what you're trying to say is all the times
We need to stop the Derby right now.
all the times here down Antelope Valley, Jeffrey, we run all the cars. It's not like we have a B main.
Right. We need to. We have people on the track right now.
Joe Pelletier trying to get free.
The caution's out, but the red's not out.
I don't know. Like this, the heat race doesn't pay anything.
Well, we're down to 2 now. The 87 of
We're not gonna have any cars for the heat for the.
there it goes. All right, so the 2 cars remaining running
that
after
was a
this.
great heat race. Don't get me wrong, that was Derby, but I think the 69 may have taken what we were talking about. A couple of these cars. 53 actually might be in good shape since he got stuck.
Very true. So the 87 driven by David Mahaffey Jr. and the 720. The 2 cars left running after this Derby in the first heat race of Wesley Johnson.
69, don't forget, they were looking at it, so there's I believe maybe a fire.
There was a fire under that hood.
So we'll be back for heat race number 2, and then our main event, which we'll see how many cars are left for that.
Heat
Sure.
race number 2 at the Antelope Valley Fair, getting ready to go through this one. Going to do a starting lineup. We're going to take a look at the yellow number 12 located on the right side of the track. That is Sean French. The number 50 that is driven by Jeremy Edwards. The number 58 machine driven by Matt Stewart. The 21 driven by
Good job, buddy.
of Luke Ming-Helly. The 008 driven by Brian Godden, and the 49 rounding out our field of Ken Lucasanas.
Here we go, 50 lining up a shot.
Jeremy Edwards on Lucasanas, and a little smooch. 008 with a hit on Lucasanas. The car that I'm really taking an eye to is that 529 going backwards right now. That thing is held on by duct tape, and I think it just got crunched.
There you go. Double A. Brian just puts a nice hit on the 49.
Look at that rear end already covering our camera.
529. Mike Contain got him.
And into the 12 machine, the 520. The radiator spewing 529. You can tell he's out here to go crazy. That's Mike Curtin.
That camera's already
Curtain.
covered up.
Mike Curtain getting busy. The 21 trying to roll it over. That took off the front bumper of the 58, Jeffrey. Matt Stewart gonna be derbying this thing without a front bumper in this heat race. The 12 going off course.
Dang you Duke boys.
Which car are you really looking after in this one?
The doubles 08, it won the prettiest car contest. I feel like that automatically puts a target on your car. 49 we saw on Thursday doing figure 8 racing. That front end, or rear end's moving up, but it looks like a 58 just lost the radiator.
Look at Lucasana's car, and that 49 in the far right corner. That thing is plowing in the mud right now. That trunk area completely shoved down.
Edwards locked in the middle. Whoop, he got away.
The 58 of Stewart literally dragging his front bumper by a piece of chain. Jeremy Edwards holding on pretty well, cutting across the tracks, trying to avoid the field. Stewart with a run, and there's a hit.
Tom, you
into the
talked to that
12.
50 team. They were thinking too highly of their chances in this heat race.
The 50 team of Jeremy Edwards, they're playing on house money now, if you will. They won Thursday night's figure 8 race, and their luck in the Demolition Derby has not been great, so they're expecting this car to get demolished.
A couple cars losing bumpers in this one. You see the 008's new setup.
Now, as you can see, these cars are basically chain and bang style cars, no crazy modifications like the modified class you're going to see later on tonight. That 21 car, that little station wagon's ripping around that track of Luke Mingheli. Looks like that yellow number 12 machine kind of stalled in the center of the track of Sean French.
I think I see a little bit more strategy being played out in this heat race versus the other one, which was just
all out.
Huge shots.
And he's got to stay away from that moat. The number 21 of French. I'm sorry, of Mingheli. And Edwards almost had a front end hit.
Edwards had a good Thursday night.
Won the figure 8 race. Now Edwards is trying to go after the 008 of Brian Godden. Godden gonna go to the left part of the track, and I like how he parks in front of the 50 of Jeremy Edwards.
Yeah.
Hey, do with style, right? The 008 though, no trunk left on that machine. It's packed into the windshield or the rear window. So you see there's only 3 cars left running. Jeremy Edwards. Jeremy Edwards and the 21 of Mingheli look like they have the better of the cars remaining.
But the 21 looks like he just expired a radiator. How about the 58 coming back to life?
We got 3 cars still moving in the 58.
If I were the 58, I would leave it right there. Oh, Edwards with a big right rear shot. That could have taken out another tire. Look at this.
They're really going at it.
Are we in the main event or not?
Who needs 4 tires?
I'm really impressed by the 008 of Godden.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's been protecting that front end.
One of the smaller cars in this, as the checkered comes out, completes the second heat race. Up next will be the main event for the Stock Car Derby here at the Antelope Valley Fair. Main event time at the Antelope Valley Fair, getting ready to go. We got a 12-car feature for you in the Stock Class Derby. We got the number 50 of Jeremy Edwards in the police-looking machine. Then we got the 008 of Brian Godden. The number 49, driven by Ken Lucazanas. The 69, driven by Zach Myers. The number 12, he's piloted by Sean French. The number 53, who we're interested to see how long that rear bumper lasts after the repairs, Doug Creel. And the 21 on this left side arena, that is driven by Mike Mingheli. And on the right side of the arena, the number 32, that is driven by Robbie Lassos, the number 8 BL, who was flying in the heat race and making some good hits, Joe Pelletier. In the middle of those two, you just saw him pull in the number 87 machine, driven by David Mahaffey.
Dozer Dave.
Jr. What's his nickname?
Dozer Dave.
Well, that kind of fit in that heat race. The number 58 machine, piloted by Matt Stewart, and the 720 will round out our field of competitors, driven by Wesley Johnson. Jeffrey, what do you?
Only a few cars didn't make it back from the heats.
Yeah, the two cars were the 11 of Margie Burks and the 529 of Mike Curtain. Too much damage, couldn't compete. And we're counting down, Jeffrey.
Watch for some big hits early.
1. Let him go, Josie.
Green flag, and we are derbying. Across the track, Robbie Lassos and all the others.
Couple front end shots early.
I'm looking all around this track to see who's running after that start.
Hard hit there to the 58, delivering to the
12 machine. The 12 of Sean French, after the initial start, has not able to get that 12 car running again. The 58 delivering a good hit. Matt Stewart.
20's rear end, man.
720 getting ready to cut across the track, and we are red. Red flag. Red flag.
Red flag, gentlemen. Bring it down. Red flag, gentlemen. Red flag.
This is where horns would come into play.
Yes.
We got a fire. Shut off your engine.
It looks like the
Everyone
fire.
in the stands has turned off their engines.
Looks like a possible fire, maybe out of the 8BL machine.
Don't want anybody getting hurt. Fire is the only thing that brings out the red flag.
Or a possible injury.
Responders are jumping out there making
The 8BL getting attended to. That is driver Joe Pelletier. He crashed in the middle of the arena.
around the number 8.
Having a conversation with the fire crew.
Maybe check and see what's for dinner.
Could be. Now, Tommy, we had early hits going on there. What did you see at the beginning here?
You know, here's what I'm seeing already. The heat race has kind of crunched up a lot of these cars. Pelletier, if he can't win the Derby, at least he can put on a good show.
There's the can. He told us about that earlier in honor of his cousin.
Yeah, in honor of his cousin. And the BL is in honor of his uncle. So that's very cool.
That looks like he took a door hit, Tommy. A pretty big one, too.
Oh, yeah, you can see that 8BL got perfectly targeted by a competitor.
Yeah, we have one tire sitting on there. So early on. Now, here's where it gets crazy. We know how this works. These cars don't like to restart. They didn't have a long run, so a lot of these cars we probably won't have. Most of them should be able to start back up, but hits have been delivered. Anyone looking good to you early on though there?
I would say that 50. And I wonder if the 12 thinks that we're green or not. And the problem is that 12 is not moving under red.
He's
so
good now.
There we go. Green flag. I'd say the better looking of the cars, 720, the 50, and honestly, the 21, the little station wagon out there.
This 32 is holding no restraint. I love
No, Robbie Lass is out here to demolish that owned car.
it. How about the 008?
008 ran really good in the heat races, just got sunk in the dirt by the 85.
I believe that popping is the 49 machine.
Brian Godden in the 008 machine, he's kept that car pretty fairly clean in tonight's Demolition Derby. The 87, the Dozer, David Mahaffey Jr., he's used up that rear end, but that front end looks perfect, except for he's missing a right rear flat, or a tire, I should say.
Number 87 does not have a right rear tire.
So I'm going to keep my eye on that 720. That car looks crunched, but it also looks crunched in the right spots. Wesley Johnson, he's coming across the track. Wesley Johnson is going to miss the 008 of Godden.
They just pinned the 53.
So we see a pile up over in the right side of the arena. 69 backing up in that wagon. He's kind of kept it quiet as he slams into Godden in the 008 machine. Zach Myers in that station wagon. He took a big beating in the heat races in the front end, but it looks like they got that thing patched up. You see the number 32 stuck in the moat, Robbie Lassos. And he is almost back. He's back on the track now. Robbie Lassos, and then immediately with a front end collision.
Sometimes your car just doesn't want to quit.
Godden trying to line up ahead on the 720. Swing and a miss. Robbie Lassos, he seems to be in favor of using our GoPro footage and using the front end. And the sleeper, I'm telling you, is that 21 machine, that little
That car
station
still
wagon.
looks good, man. The only thing he has to deal with is his radiator.
Luke Mignelli, and that 21 looks like he just drove off the street compared to all the others.
Number 32 says Rally Auto Group on it. Probably be down at the service department.
Godden in the 008, Jeffrey, is kind of battling uphill because the front end is starting to really crunch in, and he's got no rear end.
87 right now is going to be at the mercy of the clock, whether or not he was running in enough time.
It looks like we're down to 6 left running.
Yeah.
The number 52 being one of them. 53 of Doug Creel. The number 21, you see really starting to steam up there. The 87 of Mahaffey Jr. Godden in the 008. Lassos in the 32. It looks like he's stuck. He's stuck with the 720 of Johnson.
Yeah. Sorry. Jeez, man. We're not in the Derby. The 32's doing everything he can. He's going to pull the 720 with him.
They're trying their hardest not be clocked out over there. Lassos and, oh boy. They're getting closer to getting unstuck. But we got the 4 good remaining cars all in a bunch.
008 laying in a hit.
Wesley Johnson, Robbie Lasso still trying to get on hitch. The 21. There we go. Robbie Lasso, look at that car.
The stands erupt.
That front end is over the windshield. He can barely see out of the front end.
Tires.
The back end is, like you said, is covering the rear window.
And these guys are going on a road trip. Is someone stuck?
I think Mignelli just got stuck in the moat. The problem is he's going to have to really work on getting that car out of the moat with only 3 tires. And he does it. Godden trying to figure out a way to keep his car alive and to dish out hits. He doesn't have much of room for any error.
Is there even anything left of the 32 to hit?
720 looks like he's stuck now.
I don't know what he's stuck on.
The 87 of Mahaffey. There's a fire. We knew that was only a matter of time as he was revving the snot out of that thing. So a fire is cooking under that 720 of Wesley Johnson. He put on a hell of a fight, and you can hear the crowd.
Hey, he tried.
Second red flag of this Derby.
Oh man, good stuff. This Derby's definitely been a down to the bone. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, these drivers are just taking these cars to the grave right now.
All right, the motor's back running. Green flag back out. And who's going to be the first to move? It to me looks like the 21 and 53 are stuck together. 21 of Luke Mignelli.
And 008 gets rolling.
Luke Mignelli and the 53 of Creel stuck together. We might be down to 2 already after that red flag.
Looking for a hit.
I can not believe car is going for
walking through those pits. I would have never given Godden enough credit in that 008.
87 on the other hand, we expected to be here.
That car looked beautiful. It looked mean.
Come on, Brian.
But Mahaffey Jr. at the risk of the 008 of Godden to pin him in a corner or something and keep that 87 from winning it.
There we go. Good hit.
Godden, he has to be careful because any more impact in that rear end, those rear wheels are gonna lock up. And we know that from experience.
Yeah, we've been there, done that. 21 still trying to get unstuck.
There you go. That's it.
And 87
There
of
it is.
Mahaffey.
That left rear just locked
I
up.
was gonna say, Mahaffey, no, but he goes into the moat. He's gotten out of this situation before, but he looks like he's pretty stuck now.
No, he's out of there.
Look at that. Look at that. Mahaffey Jr., the dozer. Look at that front end. And there you see Godden's radiator.
But are they stuck now?
It looks like Mahaffey is stuck on top of Godden's
They
front
are.
end.
Can David get away? 008, his left front wheel and tire come apart. I don't think he can move anymore.
Well. If this is it, Jeffrey, the last car that made a hit was that 87 of Mahaffey.
Yep. And that car is still visibly running.
We got the crowd going. Is that 008 Brian? Come on.
Oh boy.
You can see. What the heck?
And Jeremy Edwards comes back to life. He's obviously clocked out. But maybe Edwards is going to help out. I don't know.
He's been down for more than 2 minutes.
He waited too long.
He's been down for 2 minutes. He can't move.
And the checkered flag is flying. Who is the winner? We're going to have to find out. I would say the 87 of Mahaffey.
Before they declare who the winner is.
It looks like the 008 of Godden is your winner here tonight at the Antelope Valley Fair Demolition Derby. So congratulations to Brian Godden.
And now, where I see the official call coming from there is that
That's what it looks like, Don.
I think so.
we got some boos in the crowd. We got some cheering in the crowd.
You can see displeasure out of David Mahaffey Jr. giving the thumbs down. Brian Godden being declared the victor.
I was going to say the one place where I agree with you, where the last car that put in the hit was.
The reason,
That's how I
Well, here we go.
in my opinion, and we'll get the official call, is the other car went outside the track and come back in again.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
But we've had cars do that tonight. That's not the
more
first
than
car
once.
that's done it.
Well, we're gonna go grab.
So if that was a rule, we it should have been.
Well, there is an out of bounds for a reason, but the moat just didn't stop enough cars.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go collect
That's
cameras.
fine. I mean, hey, like we said, this was definitely the underdog.
And I tell you what, he earned every bit of it. That little car.
And what I was going to say
Defeated.
between the two, where I'm okay with this call, is that both cars stopped running at the same time.
Exactly.
So.
All right, well, let's gonna go grab some cameras. Thank you all for watching. Now, if you click on the next video, we have the modified class that is getting ready to do their Demolition Derby.